Hi, this is Alice Anian Waller from Swansea University, and this is my quick guide to learning at home, a guide for unexpectedly having to study at a distance. I'm hoping that with this short video, I'll be able to give you some guidance and encouragement on how to manage finding yourself having to self-direct with your studies at home. So the first tip I want to give you is to get to know your course really well. Familiarise yourself with the content. So here at Swansea, that's on Blackboard at the moment. Familiarise yourself with the assignment, the deadline for supervision and assignment supervision, and so on. And make a note of the deadlines, obviously. Add them to your diary and calendar. Check the length of your course and how much work there's likely to be each week, and your course leader might identify how much hours a typical activity might take. This helps you to plan around the work in your home life because you need to plan. You're in charge. Check you can access the course materials. If you can't, contact your course or module lead. And check what software will be used and ensure that you can install and access it on your device. This is really important so you don't get caught out at the last minute. The next thing is to remember to put the key dates in your diary or planner. So this includes the deadlines we noted before, and the dates of any live chat rooms or online classes, and any other important dates, such as when you might be asked to give presentations or contribute to certain classes or to contribute to activities. Again, check what software is needed, and if necessary, set aside time to learn about the software so that you're comfortable. Just remember that learning about this kind of software is a transferable skill. We're all scared when we start off with new software, but once we get comfortable with it, we soon it becomes second nature to us. So don't be afraid to try something new. The next thing, and the most important in my book, is to plan your time. This is a really difficult time. We are in a period of uncertainty and everything has changed, and you might find yourself with many more demands on your time now. So set aside structured time. Defined times when you will do your self-directed study. This puts you in the driver's seat. Break your activities down into manageable chunks so you can achieve them comfortably. For example, if you have to watch a video and complete a quiz, check how long the video is and then double that time, as you probably want to watch it twice, and then add in time for the quiz. Think about how you'll do it. Will you watch a video once, take a break, watch it again, do the quiz? What would work best for you? Remember, this is your learning and you're in charge. And on that note, identify when you work best. We all have times of the day when we're more productive, we're more attentive, and there's times when we're less than productive and less than attentive. So pick that. Some people work better in the mornings. I'm a morning person. Mid-afternoon is not my best time. Others work better in the evenings, for example, when the kids are in bed. So make the most of the time when you work best when you can, and structure your activities around your own highs and lows. Also, a really important thing is to regularly check in. Check your student emails at least twice a day during weekdays, if possible. This checks for any updates or changes. Keep in touch with your classmates and your colleagues. Those relationships can be really valuable. Contact your tutor or assignment supervisor as early as possible, just to confirm what you're doing for your assignment plan, checking in, just making contact and checking in. And remember to give yourself plenty of breaks and time to do other things in between any activities and any communication. If you've got an assignment, it's really important to plan. Plan it week by week and set defined times when you will work on it. Set yourself achievable goals. You know yourself best. You know what you're best at and what you can achieve. Make the most of your time. If you're simply spending time searching for sources and can work with the TV on, do that to break up your day. Maybe change the room that you're working in if you're doing something that doesn't require you to sit at a desk or have perhaps full concentration. The other thing is to back up all your work, including your resources. As you'll be working digitally, save all your sources in more than one place. Otherwise, you can spend hours looking for that pesky lost reference. So always back up your folders with your resources in. And keep your reference list updated as you go along. Because you know the course content well, because you've reviewed what's going to be coming up, you can also see when particular sessions and activities are. So you can build this into your assignment planning. So you can plan to research a particular topic after the session has been taught on that topic, for example. And set yourself a deadline to finish your assignment a week before the submission deadline. So you've got plenty of time to proofread, copy edit, and check your references. The other thing is to get help. You don't have to do this alone. You may be physically isolated, as many of us are, but you don't have to do this alone. You are not alone. We as tutors are here for you, and your colleagues are also available. It's just through a different format. So don't be afraid to reach out and get support and supervision for your assignment. And don't be afraid to ask for help. Some things might be difficult to follow or understand. You might not be sure what to do with a particular activity or resource. There are no stupid questions. Always ask for help. Stay in touch with your classmates, as they can be very supportive. And it is vitally important to stay kind and supportive with each other when we're learning at a distance, because we're all under different and extra pressures. Decide with your classmates how you'll stay in touch and how you'll work together on group assignments if you have them. And agree with them how you'll broach any difficulties. For example, if people are not doing any work or if people are not staying in touch, how will you address that? Another thing that's really important when you're working at home is to claim your workspace. You don't just need defined time to study, you also need a space in which to study. Now this, depending on where you live and how much space you have, can be challenging, but we can all carve out a little space in which to carry out our work, to claim as our designated workspace. So make a workspace. Either have a separate room if you can, or a table or a desk, or an area in which you will be working. And this should be somewhere you can leave your work and come back to it without it being disturbed or moved by others. Obviously, other than the cat, who will sit on your work as often as possible if you've got a cat. And communicate with anyone you live with how you want to manage your workspace and the physical materials. You know, if you're working on the dining table and you've got to clear it off for every meal, is that necessarily the best option? How are you going to manage that? The next thing is to keep track of everything that you're doing. You're in charge, remember. This is your learning experience. We're all here to help you, but you're the boss. It's a good idea to keep a log of what you've done each day, either on your laptop or in a notebook. This means you review your progress, and when you start again the next day or the next or the next, you're clear about where you are and what you need to do next. It's a good idea to reflect regularly on your progress. You might realize you're setting unrealistic goals for yourself, so adjust them. You're in charge. And be kind to yourself. Don't expect too much of yourself when you're learning in this way. Give yourself time to adapt and to learn about how best you work remotely. Another vital thing is don't compare yourself to other students on your course. Everyone is different and everyone works and learns differently. The only person you need to compete with is yourself. Try to be the best that you can be, but again, be kind to yourself. Now, the other thing is to work research smart. This means be really pragmatic, but also clever about how you research your topics. For example, if you're working on your assignment, read around your topic and plan how you'll find sources to support your work, especially that assignment. Log on to iFind and the library pages. There are library guides and all kinds of resources you can access remotely to help you develop your knowledge. Build this new kind of learning into your work plan. Plan plenty of time to read and read around. And take the time to get comfortable using the systems like iFind and online learning platforms. Save all your articles with recognizable file names so you know what you're looking at and who wrote it. So for example, pregnancy article 1, Jones. Pregnancy article 2, Lewis. Breastfeeding article 1, Thomas, so that you know which reference is which. Save them in folders and subfolders that are recognizably labeled with your topics. This makes it much easier to find your sources when you're writing and when you're completing your reference list. And it's a good idea to add whatever articles or books or resources you've read to your daily log. This may seem tedious, but it's a nice way to keep track of everything that you're doing, and it helps to back up so that you don't lose those all-important sources. Finally, focus on what you can do, not on what you can't. It can be really hard to stay motivated when you've got to manage your own learning and so many other things in these difficult times. So every week, think about what you're doing. Why are you doing the course? Why does it matter to you? Give yourself permission to focus on your work sometimes just for you, and to sometimes prioritize it over some of your other demands where possible. Change your goals and deadlines as you need to. We all know that life is very complex and things can change quickly, but really give yourself permission to do this work because you're doing it for you. And take plenty of time to rest and relax and be connected with people. We all need to support each other when working remotely, and there are so many ways to do that. Video call, telephone call, text, chat room. Stay in touch with everyone that you can. You're a human being, not a human doing. And remember, despite the fact that we are no longer in the classroom area and that we are all working remotely, we all matter. You matter. Your contribution to your class, to your classroom, your work, your assignments, it all matters. They are your values and your opinions and your thoughts and your experience, and they matter just as much in a digital learning space as they do in the classroom space. You've got a lot to contribute, so don't be afraid to join in, to contribute, and to speak up. Remember, believe in yourself. You've got this. Thank you. See you next time.